Alanna here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I was eating lunch and watching one of my favorite shows ever. I thought, you know what would be a good idea if I did a list of my favorite things to watch, just in case some of my lovely subscribers out there are looking for something new and fresh and fun to watch on Netflix, Hulu, or just wherever. I don't know about you guys, but I am not here for this heat this summer. It is too hot, so I will be enjoying my life and living my best life indoors. Okay, so I have a list of about 10 shows that I really enjoy binge watching. I think these are totally binge worthy TV shows, and I don't know, you guys tell me what you think down below. Now before I get into my list, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. I do upload videos every week, and if you would like to request that I do a certain video for you, what better way than to join the squad and leave some comments down below. First and foremost, I cannot begin my favorite TV shows list without Power. Power. In case you have lived under a rock for the past, what, 3-4 years, Power is the okay? Power is a TV show that comes on Stars. I'm not sure if it's like created by 50 Cent, but I know that he's like one of the executive producers or something like that to the show. So that's kind of like why the hip hop community really watched it in the first place. But this show is an awesome show. It reminds me somewhat of The Wire. It's one of those kind of gritty TV shows where it really kind of explores the drug and gang violence that happens in the streets sometimes in different communities. There is the main character, his name is Ghost. He is like a super bad, like fine drug boss, and he's trying to go clean. He opens up this wonderful nightclub, and you know, he has a family, he's married, he has 3 beautiful children, and just so many things go down in this man's life, from, you know, ex-lovers coming out the blue trying to mess everything up, to issues with the law, with like his drug amigos, and it's just crazy. Just some of the stuff that happens is just so crazy. So if you're into like crime television shows, this is definitely one for you to check out. It's so many twists and turns, and just, I don't know, the show is just so good. It like leaves me anticipating more. I think there's only 10 episodes per season, and every single time we get to the last episode, I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait till Power starts back up again. Currently we're in season 5, I believe, of Power, and it is so good. So I'm not gonna spill too much just in case you have not seen it, but if you are a fan of Power, leave a comment down below and let them know what they have been missing. Now this list is in no particular order, but next up I'm gonna talk about Queen of the South. Okay, just keeping up with my little drug theme here. Queen of the South is basically a TV show that comes on USA, and it is about a drug boss, but this time she is a woman. Okay, the first season followed a woman named Teresa, and pretty much she's like a drug lord, but we don't really get to see her that much as a drug lord so much as we get to see her kind of backstory. So the whole show is pretty much the backstory of how she even got into the drug game and into the business, and it is so crazy. It kind of depicts how the whole drug cartel situation kind of plays out down in like Mexico and Texas and stuff like that. So I don't know how true some of these scenes, you know, are depicting, like how relevant they are to like some of the stuff that happens in real life, but when I tell you that this show showed me that drug life is not for me, okay? I will continue to live my life within the law, because some of the stuff that they have to deal with, oh my gosh. One of the things that I really like about Queen of the South is how strong the female characters are on that show. There's pretty much like 2 main female characters, Camilla and Teresa, and they are such strong women. these women end up in these crazy ruthless situations, and they really have to get their way out of them. And just some of the stuff that they do is just so boss. Like, I always end up believing, watching that show, feeling like I am just such a bad woman. So I really like that show. If you're into, you know, like I said, like action TV shows, like drug kind of related TV shows, and that's definitely for you. Now, third up is a TV show called Claws. This show is definitely fairly new. I think it came out like last year, year before last, or something like that, because we're only in the second season. But this show basically follows a woman named what is her name? Her name is like D. Her name is Desna, and Desna has like a brother who's special needs, and you know, her and her brother have been bounced around from like foster home to foster home. So now she, you know, she's an adult, obviously, and she runs her own nail salon. Now, nail salon is the bomb. She has like all of these different nail technicians in there from like different backgrounds, and their stories just themselves are just really cool and interesting to kind of, you know, dive deeper into the other characters. But all in all, this nail salon is not what it seems to be. It's basically kind of like they're cleaning money for, you guessed it, drugs. Basically, Desna's like cleaning money for this, you know, drug boss's family. So a lot of crazy things happen in this show. I am all caught up. I'm on the second season, and I'm watching them as they're airing on TV, which is killing me. By the way, you guys, I'm one of those people who, like, I really don't even watch TV like that. I have a Fire Stick, I have Chromecast, and I have Netflix, I have Hulu. I have all of the YouTube. I think we have YouTube Premium or something like that. We don't really watch TV. So when I have to, like, when I get so into a TV show and it's like still going and I have to like watch, like, usually I like to wait so I can binge watch it on on one of my streaming services, but it was driving me crazy to have to watch Claws. But the show is just that good, you guys. It's funny somewhat. It's a very lighthearted show. Chris Brown's ex-girlfriend Karuchi actually plays one of the lead roles in the show. She plays like a hoochie, but she plays her role so well. You have to love Virginia. And yeah, I really do like the show Claws, so definitely check that out as well. So the next show that I'm going to mention, I'm late to the party with this show, but it is Grey's Anatomy. It is a show that I believe is on Hulu as well as Netflix, so you can watch it anywhere. And the Grey's Anatomy, I think they're on their 15th season, or probably like 17th season. This show has been going on forever, so I really liked binge watching this show because there were so many episodes, and I love watching shows where there's so many episodes because it's like, you know, you dive into their world and you never get to leave. Grey's Anatomy is basically about this girl, the main character. Her name is Meredith, and she just finished med school. She's starting her residency at a hospital in Seattle, and it just kind of follows her as she meets the other interns that are doing their residency as well, and just some of the crazy things that they have to go through during this like medical residency. You also get to learn more medical terminology in this show. Each episode, like, there's different patients, and the patients have different things that are wrong with them. So, like, I don't know, when I was watching this show, I swear to you, I thought that something was wrong with me every single week. Like, I'm like, oh my God, the thorax of the hematoma is rupturing. So many crazy things like are depicted on their patients. Is like so many crazy situations that you would never even. It was one episode where like it was a train crash, and these two people got like, they got like stuck together, and they were saying like they could only remove one of them, like they were impaled and they could only remove one of them and the other one would die. So they're both sitting there talking to each other, and they know that in the next couple of minutes one of them is not going to be alive. Woo! This show is such a tearjerker when I tell you guys, like, oh my gosh, that show makes me cry so much sometimes. But it is a great show, and the show is also created by Shonda Rhimes, who is such an icon when it comes to good TV drama. She's written Grey's Anatomy, which I think was her first television show, but she also has How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal, which are both awesome shows as well. Next show that I want to tell you guys about is called Jane the Virgin. I did not think I was gonna like this show because it just didn't seem like something that I would watch, but I saw someone talking about it on my Facebook one day and I was like, you know what, I gotta watch this show. I watched it and I immediately fell in love with this show. This show is so funny and it's so romantic and it's just such a great love story, and I don't know, it's just so funny. It's set up like a novela type of show, like a Spanish soap opera type of show, but it's really funny. And basically it follows this girl named Jane who basically her grandmother told her whole life, like, you know, you are gonna go to hell if you do, you know, if you lose your virginity, you'll be damaged, and you know, you just need to wait till marriage. So Jane's like, you know what, I'm gonna follow all the rules in life, I'm gonna wait till I'm married. And she does that. She's like dating this great guy, and then one day she goes into the gynecologist for a pap smear, and the gynecologist ends up artificially inseminating her with some sperm, and she ends up pregnant. So she has never had sex before, but she ends up pregnant, and come to find out, the person whose baby she's having is the owner of the hotel that she works at. So super crazy, like love triangle story. And it's like, you know, the day she finds out that she's pregnant, she's also getting ready to get proposed to. Like, and the guy that she's with is like so perfect. I don't even want to tell you guys too much, but just know that Jane the Virgin is a great show. The next show that I want to tell you guys about is called Queen Sugar. I always get Queen Sugar and Queen of the South mixed up, but they are two totally different shows, okay? Queen Sugar is basically about a family. There's basically 3 siblings, Nova, Charlie, and Ralph Angel. Charlie is like living the LA lifestyle. She's married to like this big shot basketball player, and you know, she just lives like this great, you know, luxury lifestyle in LA. And then she has her sister Nova, who's like a writer for some column in like the newspaper in Louisiana. And then she also has a brother who really, you know, he's been in and out of jail. He's known to like steal. Like his life is just really not on the right track, but their dad just really continues to help him out because he has a son named Blue that, you know, the family loves so much. So this show just kind of shows just some of the struggles and hardships that are happening between these siblings. And I don't want to give away too much. Just so many crazy things start to happen, and it ends up bringing Charlie down to Louisiana, and basically their dad leaves them this sugarcane farm. So she's like really determined to get this sugarcane up. So you guys can see, you know, obviously in the South, you're gonna deal with some racism. You're gonna deal with, you know, a couple of different dynamics of what life is, how different life is in the South versus like LA, and then how the siblings look at each other differently because they have different mothers, and just so many different things that kind of go on within this show. I think this show is a really good and cozy show. I really like to watch this show like at night. I don't know, it's weird, but it comes on OWN, but I think you can watch episodes on Hulu, I believe. But I will have my plug website down below where I watch all of my shows, even if I have cable or not. I'm gonna leave that down for you guys below, so make sure you check the description box because I'm not going to say it in the video, but I'm going to go ahead and leave that website down below. The next show that I want to share with you guys is one of my favorite shows ever. I still have not finished the whole show, but it is called The Mindy Project. I believe this show is a Hulu original, but this show is hilarious. Oh my gosh. It is like the female version of The Office. It's like dry humor, but like female humor. Oh my gosh, this show is so funny. It's basically about this girl named Mindy, and she's working in like a medical office with 3 other men, so she's the only woman. They're all gynecologists and obstetricians, and she's young. She's trying to navigate dating. She doesn't have any kids, so just you know, dating. Like, that's really what the show's about. It's like being single in New York City, dating, and just some of the funny things that she runs into with, like, you guys know, if you're single and you've ever been single and you've ever dated, like, some of the crap that you run into in this world is just like, what? Like, so yeah, the Mindy Project is really, really funny. Okay, it's so funny. And if you are bored, I think she has 7 seasons, I want to say. The show's no longer on anymore, but you can always binge watch like the whole series on Hulu, and it's just a really, really funny show. So thank me later if you guys have ever seen the Mindy Project. Comment down below and like let these people know what they're missing, because the Mindy Project is hilarious. After I started watching it, I was like trying to tell my mom to like put her on, and she was like, oh no, I already watched that. So I'm like, you know what, this show is great, I have to share it with you guys. Another show that I really like that's on Netflix is called Dear White People. It is I think a spin-off to a movie that came out a couple of years ago, but basically it's a show that kind of depicts social injustices, social issues at an Ivy League college. So as you can imagine, Ivy League is usually historically Caucasian, and you know, they're inclusive. There's students of all different ethnicities that go to this Ivy League institution, and it's just interesting to see how that plays against each other. One of the main characters, her name is Sam. She is actually biracial, but she's like one of these people who like go super hard for like social justice and, you know, rights and, you know, equality and all this stuff. And you know, all along she's like secretly seeing someone, and it's just a really great show. So they're in their 2nd season now. It's one of those Netflix shows that just kind of drops whenever. So don't know when the next season's gonna air, but I know that season 2 just came out not too long ago. I've already finished it, love the show, and it seems like it's gonna get a little bit more sci-fi as we go on into the series a little bit more. But it is a really, really, really good show. I think it's good for especially teenagers, college aged, you know, students to be watching the show, to just kind of get a feel for, you know, some of the issues that people have on both sides. So I really like that show as well. Another one of my favorite shows that I want to tell you guys about is this show called Atlanta. And of course I'm biased because I love Atlanta, but the show itself is actually really, really, really funny. My boyfriend put me on. I was late to this show. I was not one of the people who was watching it at first. I came in like midway through the 1st season. It seems like every episode is very different, you know, same characters and everything, but different concept, different lessons, different, you know, things. Sometimes some of the episodes feel like mini movies or like a mini, you know, maybe parody or some sort. There were some like really questionable episodes that I've seen so far, like the Teddy Perkins, like what was that about? This show is really good. It's by Donald Glover, who's also the rapper Childish Gambino. This is his TV show, and it's kind of his spin on Atlanta. He plays a young guy named Ern, who's just really trying to struggle to kind of make it on his own. He has a cousin who's a rapper. Of course, it wouldn't be Atlanta without a rapper. And they kind of hook up together and just kind of try to navigate the music industry in Atlanta and like society, and it's a super funny show, and I really, really like it. Last but not least on my infamous shows that I think are binge watchable, I don't even know if that's like a word. Last but not least on my list is the show Insecure. This show is the bomb. The main character, her name is Issa Rae, and Issa is, I think that's really her name in real life. She actually started here on YouTube with a series called Awkward Black Girl that she used to do, and it was just kind of shorts about the little awkward situations that sometimes happen to us black girls, and we're just kind of like, what, you know, what the... So she kind of made a whole TV show out of it, and it comes on HBO now in the summers. Not sure when the 3rd season starts back up, but I have seen season 1 and season 2, and this show is hilarious. Like, if you guys can go search Insecure, the TV show, in YouTube and just watch some of the clips from this show, it's so funny. It's basically about this girl named Issa who is like a social worker or something like that, but her personal life is way more interesting than her professional life. Professional life, she works with a bunch of people who really are kind of like socially not aware sometimes of certain things. They make certain jokes about stuff, or they say certain things that can be considered offensive, but they just don't know because, you know, they just don't know, and it just ends up being like a lot of awkward situations. She has a best friend who is a young, single, beautiful, like hardworking professional. I think she's an attorney, and she is, you know, trying to navigate dating. So her storyline is just really funny because some of the guys she meets, again, you guys know, as a single woman, there is some garbage out there in the world. Oh my gosh. But her storyline is just so funny. And then the guy that she's dating, you know, they kind of have this little black love thing going on. And then, you know, things happen, things are said, stuff happens. I'm gonna let y'all watch the show to figure all that out. But it is just a really good show. It's a lighthearted, funny show that I think would appeal to a lot of different audiences. It's one of my favorite shows. I actually wish that I could hurry her up with the episodes because I'm like, girl, what are you doing? I need some more episodes of Insecure. Yeah, that's it, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to watching my, actually, I'm done with everything on this list. I need something new to watch. So if you guys have a new show that I have not named on this list yet, please drop it down below. Help a sister out. I need to find some new shows to watch, and I'm sure the viewers watching would like to find some new shows as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please thumbs up for more videos like this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, I love you guys. Bye.